Hello there, this is J.W. Peters with Solar Power of Oklahoma, back for the next video in our mini-series of solar in Oklahoma and what it means to you. So we've had a lot of people calling in and saying, hey, I hear about this thing called net metering, and what does that mean, right? How can I take advantage of that? And I think that the more important thing to explain first, before we get into net metering, is what an interconnection is, right? So just recently, within the last 10 years, we have been able to take our excess power that we produce and put it back onto the grid through an interconnection agreement with the utility company. So we'll come out, we'll install our solar panels on the roof, they create power in DC, we invert it into AC, we tie it into your electric panel, it facilitates your needs, and then whatever's left over goes through your meter and back onto the grid and through the interconnection with the utility. And so we need to keep in mind that most of the time we're actually producing 3 times the amount of electricity that you're using at that particular time during the day. So most of the time, if you take a snapshot during the day when the sun's out and you're producing a lot of electricity, you're producing 3 times what you're using. So 1/3 of it's gonna facilitate your needs, 2/3 of it's gonna go back through your meter. Your meter's gonna run backwards in theory, right? If you think about the old analog meters, it's gonna run backwards and go onto the grid. So that's actually what net metering is. So net metering is actually the agreement that you have with the utility company on how they credit you for the power that you put back onto the grid, which is really important. So by being able to have an interconnection agreement and being able to take that power and put it onto the grid, essentially we've eliminated all need for storage, which are batteries. Before interconnections, you had to have a big battery bank to be able to store the power that you were producing so that when the sun goes down, you're able to utilize that power at night. So what that means for you cost-wise is it means that it's actually reduced the cost of buying solar panels and batteries by 1/3. Now all of a sudden it only costs you 1/3 to be able to buy your system, produce the electricity that you need, fulfill your needs during the day, and then that power goes back onto the grid. So there are a couple different interconnection agreements and net metering programs that they have. All of the utilities are a little bit different. All of our solar advisors know those plans very well, and they're able to tailor your system kind of where they're gonna put it, what it looks like, the size, to be able to fit what's best for your net metering program. A couple of those programs are, one is kind of a retail net metering one-to-one plan. OG&E PSO have those, and essentially what that is everything that you put onto the grid, they're giving you a credit for to be able to pull that off the grid. And it's a one-to-one net meter at the retail rate. So there is no change in how they view that power. They take a snapshot at the beginning of the month, and whatever your reading is, they don't care how much you pull off or how much you put on, they just charge you for that net. So that's what that net metering is, right? The next plan that people have is what's considered a bidirectional meter. It's still a net metering plan, but they look at it a little bit differently. They meter everything that comes off the grid, and they meter everything that goes on the grid. And so sometimes on those plans, they actually give you a different rate of return on what you put on the grid versus what you pull off the grid. So for us, it's important to know these plans so that we can size your system and orientate your system in the proper direction to be able to get the best production of that system for that particular net metering plan. There's one other net metering plan. It's a buy all, sell all. Not very many utilities in Oklahoma have it. If you do, we probably aren't going to offer solar to you, unfortunately, because the return on investment's not very good. But we'll be able to determine that early on through the process when you talk to Shauna by calling in or inquiring through our website. So a lot of people are like, well, man, I don't want to have to deal with any of that paperwork. Like, that just seems like that is stressful. Well, the good news is we handle every bit of that. So when you decide to purchase a system, you're going to be introduced to all of our operations team, and there's a girl here on staff with us. Her name's Heather, and she literally handles all that paperwork for you. She goes in, she gets the design done, she builds the interconnection agreement for whatever the utility is that you have. She checks all the boxes, makes sure that we have everything, and then as soon as your system is installed, then she sends all that information into the utility. All you have to do is literally execute that through a DocuSign. So She'll drop all the information on there. She'll put your email on it. She'll email it to you. She will walk you through over the phone in the process of exactly what you need to do. And then once it's emailed back to her, she has exactly what she needs. So the net metering is awesome for solar. I think that that has been what the big game changer was, because it's like you've got utility costs going up, right? Solar costs going down. We're finally at that precipice to where it actually makes sense to invest the money in yourself and provide your own electricity. So net metering has been a big part of that. Most of the utilities in Oklahoma have a very favorable net metering program, but all of our advisors know all about that. We can definitely help you through the process. If you have any additional questions, please give us a call at 405-608-0095 or visit our website at solarpowerok.com. Again, give us a call at 405-608-0095 or our website, solarpowerok.com. Thank you. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.